Welcome back to the show. Oh my goodness, what a great show. Some of my favorite things we're discussing on the show, including comedy. And I was just telling my next guest how I tried my hand at stand-up many moons ago, and I have the greatest respect for stand-up comedians. People say, oh, there's no better time than now to get out there for a laugh. It's always been a good time. And there's a brand new comedy club. It is called Culture's Comedy Club. I'm joined by its owner, Reggie Cash, a.k.a. Cashboyreg. How are you, Cashboyreg?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I have to ask you, so tell me about Cashboyreg. What is that moniker from?
It's from a group that I had back in 2014, 2015. We were called the Cash Boys.
Okay.
And I self-proclaimed myself Cashboyreg.
I see.
And then it's stuck with me ever since.
Nice. Yes. As I said, I have the greatest respect for comedians. I tried my hand at it. I was having such panic attacks, I was telling you, but have always loved going to a comedy show. How did you get into comedy?
I got into comedy in 2011. I went to a public high school called De La Salle.
Yeah.
And that's where I got my first touch of being on stage, doing comedy, hosting. And after that, I started doing YouTube videos. And in our generations, we call ourselves influencers.
Yes.
And I got a big following in Montreal. And back in 2020, during COVID, my videos went viral as I was in Montreal. And as soon as the restrictions were slowly coming off, I was going to comedy clubs. And once I moved back to Ottawa, I was like, man, because in Montreal we saw so many diversity, so many different cultures, so many different comedians.
Right.
And I was like, why not bring this to Ottawa? I'm from Ottawa, and why not bring a different vast of culture? And that's how I got into the game, and that's what inspired me to do it.
So do you do your comedy in both languages then?
100%, I do.
Yeah, yes. That's what I thought. So yeah, you opened up Culture's Comedy Club. Obviously, that was the inspiration behind it. Tell me a little bit. How's it been going? How has it been received so far here in Ottawa?
Yeah, so we've been open a month, and it's been very awesome. We had 3 sold-out shows.
Nice.
It's super authentic because we're providing bottle service at a comedy club. So imagine you don't just need to go to a nightclub. You can literally go to a comedy club, and you'll get any type of bottle that you want, and then you'll have a seasoned comedian. So what makes us different is that we're paying for the quality.
Right.
So we try to do our very best to get somebody that's either renowned, that everybody knows, or that has a lot of experience. And pretty much we book them, and then when you get to our comedy club, you have a whole full service.
I love it. You mentioned diversity. So, I think Ottawa's always had a great comedy scene, right? We've had comedy clubs for many, many years. But just from your perspective and your experience, you just looked around and you said, there's just not enough diversity? Is that right?
Yeah, so for me, diversity is more so in terms of bringing together different generations.
Okay.
So that's what diversity means for me. So being able to have yourself, and if you have kids, you're able to go to a comedy club with your kids, and you're able to relate, because what's happening is we have these influencers coming from TikTok, Instagram every day.
Right.
And every day, for example, my little brother who's 20 years old will be like, do you not know who this guy is? I'm like, well, who is he? And then I want to be able to have that venue where we're able to culturally bring those cultures of social media into real life, where you might not know them, and then you come here and now you know them. Because every day, everybody else is a different influencer.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, because, I have a 23-year-old son, an 18-year-old daughter, and we'll just be in the middle of a conversation and a name will come up. I have no idea who they're talking about. And they're saying, oh, how can you not know? They're so funny, they're crazy, they've gone viral on social media. So I love this idea of, bringing in multi-generational. I want to get back to yourself as a comedian. So, like, what style? How would you describe your own comedy?
I'm relatable.
Okay.
Definitely relatable. We're talking about our experiences. I talk a lot about my upbringing in Ottawa as far as a Canadian, but also Haitian.
Right.
And telling about the jokes of my mom, and how, for example, my mom, Halloween was a big no-no growing up.
Really?
And this one time where we were trick-or-treating, and that time around, my mom was answering the door. Instead of giving people candy, she gave them the Bible.
Really?
I'm telling you. She gave them the Bible and the whole holy water and everything.
Oh,
so
my.
It was very embarrassing. Those kids, they never came back.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not, I don't, I'm not surprised to hear that, Reggie. I'm not surprised to hear that at all. From growing up in Ottawa, like whereabouts in Ottawa did you grow up?
So I grew up the first part of my life in Gloucester.
Okay.
And then after that, from my middle teens all the way to now, Orleans.
How would you, I mean, you mentioned your mom, but other parts of your childhood growing up here in Ottawa that maybe comes into play with your comedy, what other sort of experiences and memories do you have?
Definitely, for me, one of the big memories was the OC Transpo Police. And I'm ashamed to mention it, but there's an unwritten rule in Ottawa where back in the day when we had the buses, you hop the back.
Yes.
And I remember this one time where I unfortunately hopped the back, and it was a whole speed chase going around Place d'Orleans. And unfortunately, guess what, Derick? That Haitian woman left work very pissed off and came to pick me up.
I can imagine. I have a story too about that, but maybe I shouldn't. I was my first day on the job, and I forgot to get a transfer, and the OC Transpo Police came on, and they kicked me off the bus. I was so stressed out because it was my first day of work. I actually ran away from them, and you know, because it was during when, you know, when transit was going through, right? They had done the whole transit system, and I ran up the stairs and ran away, and I'll never forget that experience. I was so stressed out. I think what also makes you guys unique is once comedy is done, you don't leave, right? You guys turn into a club. Tell me about that experience.
So that experience it's the Nouveau experience. So it's inside Nouveau Lounge. So after we're done giving people the laughs, it becomes a club where you have different variety of music, and people can sit, relax, and have a good time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. People should buy tickets beforehand online?
Correct. Correct. Eventbrite, culturescomedyclub.ca. .com, if I'm not mistaken, and then culturescomedyclub.com. You could also get it on our website as well.
Yeah, and I was on the website this morning, by the way. There's a full menu on the website as well. So if you want to find out sort of what that VIP bottle experience looks like, all the information's available on there. Reggie, really appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Derick.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Again. Nouveau Lounge opens after each and every performance, so that's Friday and Saturdays, 11 p.m. You've had some laughs, and then it turns into a club. You dance the night away and enjoy yourself. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this. Don't quit.